Let the vengeance begin!
Howdy, howdy, Sue Devil here, and welcome to Game 2 of our test match against JanetOnOccasion. In this game, we're going to be playing the Dwarfs up against the Skaven, so lots of very old grudges to settle in this one. So for my army, I've got on my side, well, I'll just go over my, basically on this side I've got the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass and the Dragonback Slayers. Now, they may get a chance to synergize, they may not, but I wanted to have them on the same side because the Dragonback Slayers, aside from being able to slow things by 36%, they also do make them weak to fire damage, 22% weakness, so I want to just have these two guys on this side together. My mainline infantry, I've got them a bit offset, are these Longbeards. Got 4 units of Longbeards with 4 chevrons. We know that's kind of a sweet spot from our testing. And in my back line, I've got two units of Thunders. And they're very specifically for Doom Wheels or those Bell Wagons or whatever they have, big things. And they actually match up with my leadership, which is a Rune Lord and a Rune Smith. They both have Rune of Wrath and Ruin. The idea being is a Doom Wheel comes in, the Rune of Wrath and Ruin lowers their speed by 48%, and the Thunders go to town. And the Rune Smith actually has the Hammer of Karak Draws, which is minus 25% weapon damage, minus 44 melee attack for really tough enemies. The idea being, again, that if I need to, I can sort of set up like this with my Slayers to help against Doom Wheels, my Rune Smith, and then I can shoot out or end up shooting in on the big things with my Thunderers. So I can kind of make that little line here and collapse in on whatever, because I expect Doom Wheels to be coming in from the outsides. And of course, right down the middle, I have the Grumbling Guard, which are an amazing unit that help Vigor. And they're right in the middle, so they can go and help the front line, go out for Doom Wheels, go over where they need to be. And of course, I've got a stealth group of Bugman Rangers way in the back, and they got 2 chevrons each. They're very specifically to go up against Skaven artillery. So for Janet's army, he has 0 Doom Wheels, no Doom Wheels, no artillery, no bell wagons, no nothing. Janet, do you not understand? When I make a plan, you need to cooperate with it if it's gonna work. Oh man. So Janet's got an army of just front line of clan rats with shields. They are chevroned up, so they're gonna last a little while. His back line is some heavy hitters. These death runners. He's got 3 units of these. And they have concealment bombs, but this is the big thing. Weeping Blade for 35 seconds. That's minus 50% armor. Huge debuff to my armor. He's got 3 units of those Death Runners. And in his back, he's got 4 units of Rat Ogres. So they're, big armor-piercing infantry, 83 weapon damage. They have Frenzy. And for his leadership, he has a Warlock Engineer. And his spell loadout, he has Howling Warp Gale, which was pretty sneaky. So he could trap any flying unit for 14 seconds, so he was ready for gyrocopters. And he's got Warpstone Armor, which is a spell, and he's got some 12% missile parry, which is very good. He also has a Plague Priest here, and this Plague Priest has Pestilent Birth, spawns a group of Plague Monks, good for flanking. Vermintide spawns a group of Clan Rats. He has Wither, minus 30 armor. I'm starting to see a theme here. And he has Plague Rash, minus 12% speed, minus 9% vigor. And finally, he has Queek Headtaker. And Queek has the Dwarf Gouger, of course, plus 40% armor piercing damage for 50 seconds. He has Trophy Heads for 36 seconds, minus 45 melee defense, minus 26 melee attack. He has Stand Your Ground, plus 27 melee defense, plus 16 leadership. And Verminous Valor, so it's an explosion, plus 24% speed, and plus 8 leadership, so he can get away. And he has Warp Shard armor, minus 18 armor. It looks like he's trying to strip the Dwarfs' armor. Why would you want to do that? Do you want to see what's under their beards? Is there something I don't know? Anyways, we're gonna get in there and attack. We're gonna meet right away. Really, what I did was I was ready for any artillery back here. And I wanted these guys to be able to go and engage the artillery and be ready. But I deployed on this side because it's just a bit of mathematics. If he's coming this way into my army instead of this way, I will be able to just get to his army sooner. Instead of having to post up like here to get his army, I can post up here. So you can see I'm just using the angles like a good dwarf should. And now we will get the fight underway. So I can't see these guys, these death runners. They have stock, so I just want to get my army into that engagement, get my guys posted up, and bring these guys in and find like a nice spot where he can't see me so I can shoot in on these rat ogres. They're going to do a ton of damage. I do want to start getting some spells off. I want to bring up my slayers just to be around the backside. I don't know what's going on over here. I know this can't be it, and there's lots of units that could be hitting. So there, I'm going to just go start shooting into head quick head taker and get my units in. So we're just going to go and engage and get everyone into that frontline engagement. My Longbeards are going to do just fine, even with low armor. And I'm going to get my Rune Lord into that engagement as well. Might as well get him fighting. And I'll get my Runesmith going up. I got to be a little careful, but I'm going to shoot with my Thunders and get going. And then now I'll bring these guys in. I still want to get over here. I just got to post up like right about here so I can start shooting into these rat ogres. So the fight's going. We got the rat ogres engaged. The Warriors of Dragonfire Pass are doing fine. I'm just looking for a good place to put my Dragonback Slayer, but he summoned some Plague Monks. So I am going to see them in the back line, and I'm going to head over and get there. I'm going to send these Slayers in. He's got Clan Rats and Death Runners. Neither of them have armor, so I just want to slow them down. And I've got my Runesmith in here fighting. He does have trophy heads on him, but I think I've cast on Quick Head Taker, the Hammer of Karak draws, minus 44 melee attack, so he's got 19 melee attack. He is beating on my Longbeards a bit, but I'm shooting into his Rat Ogres, and we're going to rout them, but they're going to see that, and they're just going to come back and start beating on my Thunders. Not a whole lot I can do about that, but I have got these Dragonback Slayers in, fighting against the Plague Monks. Now I'm starting to shoot. We've got some shots coming in from here, and I basically got free shots right into his Rat Ogres, and you're going to see how fast their health just goes down. These Bugman's Rangers are so good. They're just going to absolutely decimate these Rat Ogres, and there's not much you can do about it. Now I got a bit of a blob here, and he's got some spells going off. Like I've got, unfortunately, my Thunders here. I got to get them out, so I'm trying to force path them out, and you can see I have some Thunders here. I want to just get them out of the way. Now I've got these Slayers going after the Rat Ogres, and after these Rat Ogres I have pulled back from here, and I'm actually saved my Thunders because I forced past my Thunders this way, and now I'm going to reset up. He's just coming right after these guys, these Thunders with these Rat Ogres. These guys are going. I have my Runesmith trying to chase them off. I'm never going to catch them, so I'm going to see that and come on back. And I've got here just a big ball of fighting, but these guys are doing great. I'm going to try and send one of these guys are going to shoot over here because he's going to send these Rat Ogres after. So I just want to try and keep these guys routing and find some good targets. So I am shooting on these Rat Ogres. I am going to see these guys coming and try and get some shots over there, I do believe. But I've kind of got these guys mucked up. I'm just ordering things to go as fast as I can. I see it the last second. So I'm going to pull these guys back so they can get shot, and hopefully these guys can just take the charge. They're going to take a charge from Rat Ogres just fine because they have charge defense against large. Now I can pull these guys back a little bit, post up, and then just start to fire in on these Rat Ogres. And these Rat Ogres fine. Like, they'll crush the Rat Ogres. You can see the Rat Ogres are having a trouble already with the Bugman's Rangers. The Bugman Rangers are no joke. I mean, they're a strong unit. So he's going to come in with another charge, and we're just going to start shooting into the Rat Ogres. So, and we'll absolutely decimate them. Like, you can see how fast their health drops. Like, these Bugman Rangers are just champs. Now this engagement's not going so great. He's got some Death Runners on my Runesmith, and he's blocked down my Thunders. I have been able to put my Slayers back on the Rat Ogres. These guys are just fighting like absolute champs. One unit of Longbeards, and they have what, 50 armor. They're fighting Clan Rats with shields and these Death Runners. They're not going to win that, but they are holding and holding and holding. They're just doing an amazing job right here. So I have chased off these Rat Ogres with the Slayers. I'm going to re-put them on the Death Runners because the Death Runners are crushing my Runesmith. I just want to get on those Death Runners, and I'm just trying to find a good open spot for these Thunders so they can set up and start shooting. Now these Bugman's Rangers have done awesome. I'm going to shoot into these Clan Rats that are coming to try and get me. I just want to quickly rout them, get them off the field. They're going to take one volley. They're not going to get to me. And we've got this Warlock Engineer routing here, and our leader is still in really good shape. Our Runesmith has taken a beating, but we've now got these Thunders back online. We're posted up. These guys are still fighting like absolute champs over here. These Slayers, I'm just pushing off these Death Runners, and I've got some units that are starting to rally over here. These Warriors of Dragonfire Pass are doing amazing. Like my group in here, Grumbling Guard, they're down to 26 models and they're still fighting. They're gonna rout, but you know, I've got my leader in here. I want to try and fight with my Runesmith so I can recharge the Hammer of Karak Draws. So I'm gonna send him in against these Clan Rats to try and charge that up and at least get some shots going. But now these Rangers are really starting to show. I mean, they're really starting to show their quality. They can just shoot in at just anything they want to. They have full range. Nothing's bothering them. I think they've got one unit back here that might come. But, you know, I can just make sure units keep routing, shoot them in the back. Now, my Grumbling Guard is routing. I am going to bring them back. But I do have a unit of Thunders on here. They're just shooting. He's going to send some Clan Rats after them. And he has sent some Death Runners over here after these Longbeards and these Longbeards. But I have managed to rout them. I'm just trying to grab my troops. I am finally routing here. Like, he's finally got that routing, but I've got really a safe group here. So I've got my Grumbling Guard over here, and they are tired. And these guys are very tired, very tired. But what I want to do is I don't want to throw them into combat. I'm just going to post them up here so I can start getting the their Vigor Aura on and start buffing these guys up and hopefully take them from exhausted to very tired. But there he just gets some Clan Rats going. I'm like, he sees that coming. So I start shooting in here. I just want to keep on firing. And I see this coming, so I'm going to take these last group of Thunders and just push them over here. I just want to get them over, post them up, keep them safe, and kind of set up a new line up over here, Just got my Slayers in. My Slayers are going to do a great job because they're not going to rout, and nothing in here has armor. You know, I don't think anything's coming back here. My Bugman's Rangers are almost out of ammo, and these guys are, they're so good. You know, they're going to go out of ammo, and they can just get in and fire. But I have had a bit of a big rout here. So this whole group is routing, but they are going to rally. So when they rally, I can just send them all back and sort of set up my secondary line here and use these Bugman's Rangers to kill pretty much anything. He is getting my Dragonback Slayers. He's got his Plague Priest, his Queek Head Taker, and we have in here the other group of Slayers. So these guys are just pinning them down. I do want to get one group of Slayers out. I don't need both groups of Slayers in there in case he hits a spell or something. You know, I just want to get them out, and so I can make room to shoot with my Bugman's Rangers. So I'm going to move them this way and try and shoot in like this, so I can get shots without hitting my Bugman's Rangers. So we're going to see. There we go. We get some clean shots. I'm not hitting my Slayers, rather. And now I can push them back in. I've got these guys all the way back. I'm just going to push them around, find a good place to go. And now I've got these Grumbling Guard. I just want to stand still. I just want to stand still and buff these guys. So now they're very tired, not exhausted. These guys, the Bugman Rangers, will be just fine. You know, they're going to get beat up, but they're going to be just fine. So I'm going to send these guys in and send these guys over so that I can have one unit at a time engaging. These guys, they're out of ammo. Might as well send them in. They're healthy. They have they're immune to psychology, and I just want to take all my remaining group here. I want to gather them together. I've got these Slayers out here. I don't know why I was going out there, but I want to gather them together and just get some of the Grumbling Guards buffs, because see, they're tired, very tired, very tired, very tired. Now they're very tired, so that helps your morale too. If you really look at that, like, their morale will come up because you get worse and worse morale as you get more and more tired. So now I got the Dragonback Slayers. I'm just bringing them around. You can see I just want to get them close enough to buff these guys because they're exhausted and very tired, and get everybody else close enough so they can get going. And I want to bring my Thunders over to here and post up right about here, so that if I get a chance, I'm just going to be able to take shots at anything that comes out of this way. So I'm not putting these guys into combat. I just want to see I've got them all here. I just want to get that buff from the Grumbling Guard. That's all I want to do. My Bugman's Rangers are doing just fine in there. They're doing a good job. And you can see, well, of course he sent some Clan Rats after the Grumbling Guard, but these guys are now very tired, very tired, exhausted still. He's winded. He's coming back up. You can see it's really helping his morale. These guys, unfortunately, are exhausted. They're not close enough to get the buff, but I'm just going to post them up. I just want them to be in the right spot so that if I get a chance, I can get some shots. And here we go. Here's our chance. This Plague Priest is going to be right in the line of fire, and hopefully I can get some shots. There we go. I just want to keep him routing. You see his morale was coming back up, so I just want to keep him routing. I just want to keep some shots going so I can keep him routing, and there we go. We've got the clan rats routing, and now everyone can collapse on Queek if we want. You know, this guy is just winded. He's got trophy heads on him. Queek is going to try and murder him, but we've got a bunch of slayers. You know, everyone is tired or very tired. We don't have anyone who's exhausted anymore, I don't think. Yep, well, we just have one that's exhausted, so we should be able to beat up Queek Head Taker. We still got some shots going after the Plague Priest. Everybody else is routing, so everything looks good, and there we go! Yes! I didn't believe, I can't believe I managed to do okay at that because none of my planning paid off. I was absolutely ready for Doom Wheels. I was completely 100% ready for those big bell wagons, and I was ready for all the Skaven artillery, and he brought none of it. So, oh man, what a fight. And these Longbeards, man, they are just champs. I mean, we know that 4 chevron mark's kind of a sweet spot with them, and man, they just showed their quality. Very, very good units, and he killed my Rune Lord, and he almost killed my Rune Smith, got very, very close, but this is where the leadership of the Daoi is so, so good, and these Bugman's Rangers, amazing. They both picked up 1 chevron. My Slayers here, they picked up 2 chevrons, I think. You know, it's oh man, what a fight. And he didn't have that many more than me, only 996, but he had a really good army, very focused on reducing armor with these Death Runners, the Plague Priest, the Warlock Engineer, and Queek all having armor reducing abilities, and I only got 1 shot of the Hammer of Karak Drazov on Queek Head Taker, and Queek got 102 kills. I mean, he's no joke. 102 kills against the Daoi, and these guys 34, 57, and 50. It was really these Rat Ogres we were able to manage. Like, they just couldn't get a lot of work done, and it's the Bugman's Rangers that were just the absolute terror of the Rat Ogres, and you could see as soon as they started firing in, they just started absolutely demolishing the Rat Ogres on my right flank, Janet's left flank, and these Slayers here got a hold of some Rat Ogres. I was able to force path these Thunders through the Rat Ogres and let my Slayers chase them. And then when he finally came after the Bugman's Rangers, the Bugman's Rangers have charged defense against large. They're no joke in melee against an unarmored target. Like, Rat Ogres have 20 armor or something like that. You know, they're not going to be magnificent, but they can hold their own for a long time because they're immune to psychology. You know, fear and terror doesn't bother them at all. And they were just absolutely fantastic. And I think, you know, we were kind of, I remember in the battle we were both laughing, and I should have recorded the live version. We had so much fun doing this, doing these matchups, and we were just chuckling, and it's because he's like, "What are you doing? Your quarter cap?" And I'm like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm gonna come and fight. I just thought you had artillery." And then comes the Bugman's Rangers. I'm like, nobody ever sees the Bugman's Rangers coming from behind. And he'd used a lot of his summons already, so he didn't have anything to really go and just tie them down. So he had to send his Rat Ogres in on sort of a suicide mission. So, I mean, you can see these clan rats, 33, 30, like 30 kills against, and I had no weak infantry. Like, nothing in here is weak. You know, Longbeards, Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, a Grumbling Guard, you know, Slayers, like, maybe you can say the Thunderers were weak, but these guys weren't on the Thunderers at all. You know, he had some summons on them, but these guys were on Dwarf Infantry, so all that armor sundering really paid off, and these clan rats, I mean, you may look at these numbers and think 5, 8, 9, 14, 30, you know, 33 and 19, and think, oh, well, that's not that great. But these guys are, I think after you put the chevrons on them, maybe they're 350 or 400 apiece. These guys cost nothing. And for them to perform so well against, you know, Dwarf infantry is pretty outstanding. You know, these guys did what they needed to do, but was able to really, the Bugman's Rangers were the heroes of this battle. And that one group of Longbeards holding out by themselves against a group of Death Runners and Clan Rats, they were amazing, I'll say. So yeah, for my units, we got 54, 39 with the Runesmith, 114, 25, 62, and 81 with the Longbeards, 111 with the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, 126 with these Slayers, and there was a lot of Rat Ogres in there, 84 with the Grumbling Guard, 182 with these Dragonback Slayers. Wow. 7 and 11. These guys were only shooting big targets for the whole match, and 65 and 58. Just absolute champs, these Bugman Rangers. Everyone knows I love them, and they're so great to play with. And one of the things that actually Janet had mentioned is that you really don't see any quarrelers anymore. They've left the game because you have Rangers and Bugman's Rangers, which are they're just better in the vast majority of cases, even though quarrelers are still really good. Like they're no joke as a backline ranged piece, but maybe you'll see a few changes. Like if you could make the quarrelers at their price, maybe have extra leadership, so they would, to really separate them from the regular Rangers, and maybe dump their leadership just a smidge, like by 2 or 3, and give the regular quarrelers like 5 extra leadership. Maybe you can separate them as far as usefulness goes and give them more of a place in the fight. But great fun fight. We've evened up the match to 1-1, and we have definitely settled some grudges against the nasty Skaven and had a lot of fun. I really want to hear from you guys. What did you think of the build? What did you think of the battle, the execution? What did you think of Janet's build? I mean, it's such a brilliant idea for the Skaven. He brought nothing, zero that I was expecting, and that I was ready for. None of those big bell wagons, none of the Skaven artillery, which was so good, and no doom wheels, and I was absolutely ready for all of those, and brought a completely armor sundering group, which made these guys, clan rats with shields, absolutely perform at such a high level. It was a very interesting fight. I think he gets rid of 2 rat ogres here, and puts a few more of these clan rats. Man, like they performed pretty well as it was, but they would have mucked it up. I don't know. Like, this was a really good army, actually. But yeah, the thing is, the things you would normally use to deal with backline ranged units, like your summons and stuff like that, when you start with your ranged units behind, you go and you're fighting in the line and you don't see any ranged units but these thunders, you start to use up all of your answers, and when these guys finally engage, you have no answers left. So it's a really fun way to use these Bugman Rangers, and I absolutely love them. So want to hear your comments, down below. Go subscribe to Janet. He started up his lore play, another lore play with the High Elves, which is absolutely brilliant. I'm already learning a lot about Tyrion and liking him more. I mean, not that I like Tyrion. I mean, I still hate him. He's an elf, and he's a pompous, pointy-eared, mirror-looking, cocky whatever. But it's such a great way to experience lore, is to go through a campaign like he does it, and it's relaxing, and you learn a lot from a different perspective. So it's a wonderful series. He just started it up again. Go subscribe to his channel and definitely say hi, and hopefully you guys like this battle, and leave some comments down below. But other than that, I hope you found it interesting, and I will see you soon.